Welcome to Larry's Library, and it's the first Saturday of a new month, and it's time for the check-in. This is episode 6, if you're keeping track. Yeah, this is not like the last 2 or 3, I think, where I've done it live, and I've had my daughter, Kristen, guest host with me. Yeah, she's on a out-of-town trip and couldn't make it happen this time. So you just got me, and not live. I mean, I could have done it live just by myself, but I just wasn't feeling cocky enough to do that yet. I'm pretty self-conscious, believe it or not. You wouldn't think someone that has a YouTube channel starring their own face would be self-conscious, but I am. It's a strange dichotomy, but apparently it's more common than I thought. I've heard other YouTubers say that before, that they're super shy in real life. So I don't know. I don't know how the psychology of that works, but apparently it does. So here we are. So this won't be a very long one, because I'm just going to ramble on about some things that's happening with me and things that are going to be happening on the channel. So if you want to know, I do have one really great surprise. Certainly was a surprise to me. Just the other day I got it, and it put the biggest smile on my face. And yeah, it made my week for sure. Maybe my year. But I'm going to hold that to the end. So try to watch to the end if you can to find out what that is. But it's good stuff. One thing that I have finally stabilized on as far as the technical parts of the channel is the audio. I'm still not 100% happy with the levels. They seem like they're too low to me. Now maybe they don't anyone else. I try to punch them up a little bit in the editor before I put them up. But that... anybody that's ever tried to do that, it's a dicey situation, because if you bring the levels up, the gain up too much, then it peaks. And if you bring the peak up too much, then it distorts. And you get that crackling kind of abrasive sound that you do hear in a lot of YouTube videos. Unfortunately, they put too much into the gain to try to raise the quiet levels up, and then when someone speaks louder, you get that distortion. Yeah, it's a never-ending thing with me, trying to get that right, and it's probably something no one else even worries about, when you're watching, certainly. And that could summarize my whole life, is I worry about non-consequential things that other people don't, to the point of causing myself mental distress. But this is the DJI mic, wireless is what this is, and it's a pretty nice piece of kit if you're interested in audio at all for video like this. The DJI apparently is a drone company, and they do a lot of stuff with drone electronics. And so this is a wireless set. It comes with 2 of these transmitters and 1 receiver, and it's a pretty cool deal. It's modular. They have fittings to hook up to a lightning port for an iPhone, or a USB-C port for the rest of the world. And that's what I'm using here on my Google Pixel phone. I got the USB-C adapter for it, and it plugs right into the back of it, hangs right off. It's a pretty cool setup, and it comes with 2 of these, so I could actually mic 2 people up at once, which is what I plan to do at some point when I have Cousin Elmo come back over here, and also when I have Kristen come in the library and do something with me together in person. And that is another thing that I plan to happen. But anyway, yeah, so I have settled on this, spent a fair amount of money on it, and I'm going to make it work. And I think the sound's pretty good. I wish I could get the levels a little higher. I don't know, without it distorting. So that's a thing. But I've had that with every iteration of mics I've tried to use. So what are you going to do? I'm currently reading this big, massive tome right here. Look at that. So that's how far I am. If you can see my bookmark. I'm about, 75% through, maybe? This is the Bronze Age Swamp Thing Omnibus. And I'm really loving it. And this covers all of DC Swamp Thing up to the point where Alan Moore took over on writing. Cuts off right before that. So it sets you up nice for the Alan Moore Swamp Thing absolutes. So if you have that, and then you go into that, you'll have everything before Alan Moore, and then all the Alan Moore content in nice oversized format. So reading that book it's taken a while because, it's Bronze Age. So there are more panels and more text than you often see with modern stuff. So it takes a while to get through it. I love it. I'm having a good time with it, but it's eating up a lot of time. So I can't do a review every week because I haven't read something every week, It's one of those things. But I started the channel because I wanted to share my love of books with other people. And that's what I'm going to do. Now, it will be related content. It's not always going to be books. It could be any kind of media. So it could be music, movies, videos, whatever. Video games, whatever. So hopefully everyone will appreciate the non-comic material that is going to be on here at times. I hope. Speaking of that, and then I'm always reading a prose book at the same time. And usually at work while I'm waiting in the car, before or after work. And what I'm doing now is the third book of Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, which I had never read before, all of it, even though I'm a huge Tolkien guy. Well, if you check out my Tolkien video, it's long, but it covers all of my love of Tolkien and why. If you want to check that one out, I'll put a link down below. But anyway, I am reading Return of the King now. Got the nice... these nice hardcovers illustrated by Alan Lee. Got a nice ribbon. Got a ways to go in that one. But I'm only reading a few pages a day, so, that's how that goes. Yeah, one thing that happened, you may or may not have noticed on the channel, is I now have the community tab, finally. I mean, I wanted that thing for so long, and officially in the YouTube rules, guidelines, whatever you want to call them, you have to have 501 a minimum of 501 subscribers before they will enable the community tab. But YouTube is now experimenting, is officially how they put it on the blog, the little tech blog posting about it, with opening that community tab up to pretty much everyone and anyone, with a couple of certain caveats. I think you have to have some channel history or a video ID enabled. There's a couple little things you have to enable advanced features. But they are suspending the subscriber count requirement for this. I mean, there are people, there's videos, you can check it out if you do a YouTube search on that. There are people that are starting channels, like from scratch right now, just to test it, and they have 0 subscribers and 0 content, and bam, they have the community tab. So it's kind of bittersweet. I mean, I'm glad they're opening it up to everyone, but at the same time, I've been wanting it this whole year. I've been a content creator, and I couldn't get it because of these stat markers that you have to meet, and I couldn't reach it. And finally, well, now I have it, but like I said, it's kind of bittersweet. I mean, I'm glad they're opening up to everyone, but would have been nice had I had it the whole year instead of just waiting till this arbitrary experiment happens. Because, I mean, I still have less than 500 subscribers as of the time of this shooting. Got like 487. And you know what? I'm grateful for every single one of them. So don't get me wrong. I'm glad I've got whatever I've got. I'm super grateful that you guys are with me on this and making it worthwhile. So yeah, if you haven't looked at my community tab, do check that out. I got some little behind the scenes photos there. There's one anyway, and there'll probably be more. And I've got a poll up and some other things, little bits and bobs I'm going to put on there. And I think it's real fun, and it's like having your very own forum within YouTube, and I love that. Yeah, I've been into forums for a long time. Before I was on YouTube, I was moderator in a couple of tech forums briefly, and I was a heavy contributor, and I love that whole kind of interaction. So I should be putting more content on the community tab, so be checking for that. So upcoming plans for the channel, there are a lot. So check out this graphic that I put up. This is a screenshot of my Word document where I keep track of things I have already shot and scheduled, so I know where they all fit. Now, reading the Bronze Age Swamp Thing Omnibus has put me behind. I mean, I'm not really behind. I haven't missed a date yet, but before I was 3 or 4 weeks ahead on all my videos. Now I'm not even a week ahead. I'm like a couple of days ahead. That's how close I am. Fortunately, I am off from my day job for the next week. So I'm going to try to shoot every day and get back ahead instead of behind like I am, or nearly behind like I am now. So coming up Monday is my Rick and Morty Collection Tour. It's a tour of all my deluxe hardcovers for that. So that's what's going to come Monday, and I did get that edited and uploaded today, so it's ready. So, like I said, I'm not ahead. I'm ahead by a couple of days, and that's it. But I'm going to try to rectify that while I'm off from work this week. But if you look here, all the ones in white are basically ideas on paper, things I've written down at all my day job usually in there. So I've got a stack of these crumpled up papers on my desk with all these notes written down. Maybe I'll show B-roll of that. That might be fun for you to see. I might do that. But anyway, that is the things. And you see there's question marks because I haven't actually shot any of these or even wrote bullet point notes for them yet. Well, other than some by hand. So yeah, that's kind of my tentative plans. I'm going to do a top 10 reads of 2022, but I'm going to wait until the first Tuesday of 2023 to put it out. So that way I have a true picture of everything I read last year, which will be, this year. You know what I mean. So yeah, that's a plan. And of course, in the gray is the normal schedule of stuff. And since I started the channel, I haven't missed one of those yet. I think Kristen was a little miffed at me that I wouldn't move this check-in so she could be with me on it, but I haven't missed a scheduled day once since I started this channel in February of this year, and I don't want to start doing that. I know it's a structure that I've set upon myself, so I could throw it out any time. I mean, no one is my boss on this, but I just can't help it. It's a challenge, and I've hit it every time, and I just want to keep hitting it. So that's why I didn't move it. So yeah, I've got a lot of ideas on things I'm going to do, and I've never done one thing I haven't done on here. I've done it on my blog years past, many times. I've reviewed movies and TV shows and things like that, but I haven't done any of that since I've had a YouTube channel. So I'm considering doing that on a few of the Monday videos. Tell me what you think about that in the comments if you want to see that. Like I haven't watched the Werewolf by Night TV special yet. I'm a huge Werewolf by Night fan. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that. And I mean, obviously it would have been better to do that on Halloween, but I didn't get that done in time. It's just so much content out there. You cannot possibly keep up with all of it. So I'm thinking about doing a review of that and making a video of that. What do you guys think? Would you like to see that? As soon as I watch it, bam, go shoot the video. That way it's a nice fresh take on it. Maybe. That's one idea. Another thing I'm thinking about doing is, if there's enough interest, I used to draw when I was young. I haven't drawn really in years, at least not much. But I do have some stuff I've scanned from years past. Some of it was when I was a kid, and some of it was a little later. And so I could do a video featuring my original art if you guys want to see that. I mean, it's not comic book art per se. Certainly comic book inspired art, but it's not in a panel form. But it's line art. And if you guys want to see that, let me know if you think that would be of interest. It'd be a short video. I don't have a ton of that material scanned, but I have a few. It might be something that somebody might want to see. I don't know. That's an idea. And I'm not going to keep here a long time. It's not live. Don't have a guest, so, not going to bore you too much. So the thing I was holding back to the end of this, really, is I did that Darkroom review video. And if you've seen that, you know that was one of my favorite reads of the year so far. I mean, I love that book. I had so much fun reading that book. I mean, I really did. The art is just awesome in it. And I'll put a link down below so you can check that video out if you haven't seen it already. But the artist on that is Scott Buoncristiano. And I had never seen his stuff before, ever. And I was blown away, and I really loved it. And he posted a comment to that video thanking me for the review, and and I thought it was awesome. I couldn't believe it. I did have someone claiming to be Bob Layton post a comment to my Bob Layton Iron Man video, Now, I never did confirm whether that was him or not. I tried to get him to email me to sort of prove that he was Bob Layton. Never heard any more about it at all. So I don't know if that was Bob Layton or not. I hope it was. Maybe it was. I don't know. But this, I was able to confirm pretty easily that it was the actual artist, Scott Juan Cristiano. He thanked me for learning how to pronounce his name. He said nobody's ever done that, so that was pretty cool. I really liked that. Anyway, I immediately emailed him when I got that comment, and I chatted with him a little bit over email, and I asked him if he would be willing to do an interview with me on, for the channel. Apparently, he's a fan of the channel. Who knew? Anyway, he did agree over email to do this. Now, we haven't set a date yet, so I didn't even know if I should mention this yet, but I feel like I can, because he agreed to it. Just don't know when that's coming up, but it is coming up. I'm hoping we'll be able to do one this year, and then maybe one again next year, if he likes how the first one went, if we both like how that went. But so it'll be my first creator interview, and I'm really looking forward to it. A little bit nervous, but looking forward to it. Seems like a great guy, and man, I love his artwork. So hopefully that's coming up. I just wanted to check in with you. I mean, that's what the check-in's all about. Let you know what's happening with the channel, and I'm loving the growth. I'm hoping to pass 500 subscribers before the end of the year. That's my hope. And if it keeps going the way it's going, I should hit that pretty easily. Hoping. And I really appreciate everybody being with me this time, this nearly a year, starting in February. So, and I do have a Patreon if you want to contribute, if you're able to. I don't have levels or anything like that, and just a couple of, if you can afford a couple of bucks, you want to throw them away to help me defray costs for all this and to keep this going, that'd be awesome. I do want to thank my existing patrons rather, Marcelo Ramos and Outlaw Southpaw 828. They've both been supporters for me. They've been patrons for me for several months now, and I really appreciate it. Every bit helps that anybody can do, and man, thank you guys for being there this whole time and continuing. Love it. Most appreciated. And I'll see you on the next one.